Tropical Storm Ramil, also known as Fengshen internationally, just recently upgraded by the Japan Meteorological Agency, is nearing landfall here along the east coast of Asai, specifically there around Samar, where at this time you see the bulk of the convection here, but do keep in mind the low-level circulation's right about in here, north of that bulk of the convection. So when we go through the forecast here, I do want you to pay attention to the center line of the storm. Of course, that can be where some of the highest and damaging winds are, but also pay attention to that cone of air, because as we've seen in previous storms, people sometimes get caught off guard, getting caught up with that low-level circulation. And you can even see, based on the signal force warnings, them cascading all across the Bicol region here, northern areas of Samar, all the way back here for a good portion of central and northern Luzon. But I wouldn't be surprised at all, and I actually absolutely expect it, a little surprised it hasn't happened yet, that places like Manila, all the way over towards Cavite province, and maybe even parts of northern Mindoro could be seeing some signal force warnings too. So make sure you're not only paying attention to the wind warnings, but also the heavy rainfall outlooks. And we can just see that once again on our satellite imagery, the bulk of the convection south of that low-level circulation right now, and expecting this to move off towards the west with a shift even kind of working its way northwest, skirting parts of the Bicol region. Now, I have not been shy on stating that I think the northerly track here is a little bit overdone. It's happened time and time again with some of these tropical guidances, especially into the long range. But you can even see here with the Google DeepMind, and this model track forecast has been nailing this time and time again, keeping this tropical storm with that low level center, but coming on shore around Catanduanes, passing over Manila, right over the NCR, and then exiting closer to Subic and just south of Pangasinan before heading off towards the west through our day here on Saturday and heading through Sunday morning. This would be the most southerly track of what a lot of the models are saying. This is a new AI model, but I do lean on this recently because the proof is in the pudding, as they like to say. Basically, over and over again, and has proven itself. So anyways, before I go any further, I am meteorologist Robert Spett. If you're new to this channel, thank you very much for stopping by. I always appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I always do my best here to report the latest facts, not try to hype these storm systems. And I've been accused by that for over the past week because I was saying that the storm was going to develop when a lot of other agencies weren't even monitoring it. And, well, the time has come where this has spun up basically exactly where we were expecting in the Philippine Sea. I was saying there was going to be a little lead time on it because it would spin up right before it did come on shore here, and that's what's happening here once again. Now, this is a look at the forecast of Fengshen, also known as Ramil, of course. This is JMA's forecast. They actually have it a little bit further towards the north than even Pagasa, and I share this because it is the official WMO forecast, but I think it's a little misleading because a lot of the convection is going to be further towards the south. Same with the ECMWF model, kind of shows that little wobble towards the north, just like that. I keep on saying don't get hung up on that, but this graphic does show you one key thing, and that is the interaction with a high pressure ridge coming in from the north. That's really going to squeeze out that moisture and just cause, in the right front quadrant of this, heavy rainfall, gusty conditions across Luzon. So even with that center towards the south, you're still going to be seeing kind of that gradient-induced winds there. And also all the way back towards Taiwan even sees some impacts due to that inflow coming in on the backside of it. So let's look at this one more time and kind of see what I'm talking about. That gradient, that tight pressure gradient north of the center of circulation, slams into the mountains of the Sierra Madres, and that really just squeezes out a lot of the moisture. And according to Pagasa, you know, a good portion of the Cagayan Valley, parts of Region 2, and also through mainly the Sierra Madres, is going to see upwards of 150 to 200 millimeters. I think the valley could see more closer to 50 to 100. And then moisture is going to flow around the backside of this, where you could be seeing some heavy precip across parts of Pangasinan, and yeah, maybe even over towards Manila. So here's the main points I want you to take away from this update. which you're watching and you're trying to get the latest information, don't get hung up on the center line. Heavy rainfall will extend well towards the south and towards the north. Towards the south because I think that's where the bulk of the convection is from this, but also towards the north because we have that gradient-induced winds interacting with the high-pressure ridge. Taiwan also looking at some of that rain due to the interaction, almost stalling out with the autumn rainy season front, also known as the Shirin front, that's going to be starting to work its way from the north. And also, like I mentioned, it is Ramil, but it is also known as Fengshen. So you're going to hear both of these names here from anybody monitoring this at this time. So yeah, that's the latest, nearing landfall already. It's a quick spin up. I think some people who may not have been paying attention to go, what? We're under a signal force warning? But the key thing is knowing your latest information, know your information through official sources. I just noticed, and I commented on the video from Pagasa, they are doing weather briefs much like this. Myself and Mike Padua, Mr. Typhoon, he's another great forecaster. We've been friends for years. I see some people trying to compare us in the comments, and my goodness, don't. We've both been kind of doing this for many, many years. I like anybody that does these updates, breaking down the information, who has that meteorological background. There are some people who just scream nonsense into the mic. So yeah, that's what I got right now. If you want to follow any of us, the key thing is you're getting the latest information, being smart, being safe. And if you want to support that, hit that like and subscribe button. And also don't forget to check out our Patreon. Link is down below on that. So for now, yeah, number one thing is stay safe out there, friends, as we watch this come on shore. Big rainmaker, and I do think parts of northern Visayas and southern Luzon, just like we've seen with Opong, going to be a little bit, okay, that was rough. So just, even though it's just a tropical storm, make sure you're making those kind of early preps on this. As always, though, number one thing, like I said, I think this is the third time saying it, stay safe out there. Have a good day.